Hey Kate, is your shift over yet? It's already 4 in the afternoon. Hurry back and start on the housework.
Sorry, Beth. I ended up having to do some overtime today. I need to go to the supermarket to pick up some things and then I'll head home.
You're going to be even later?
I guess so. I need to buy ingredients for dinner tonight.
You really can't do anything right, can you? Just make something from whatever is left at home.
Didn't you say that you wanted fish for dinner tonight? We don't have any at home.
That was yesterday. I don't feel like fish anymore.
Oh, is that so? Well, we still need some basic things like milk, so I'd better still stop by.
Fine. But hurry it up. I've left you half of the housework for you to do. Also, don't forget to finish doing the laundry. Oh, and the bathroom still needs cleaning too.
Okay, I got it.
I loaded the washing machine for you, even though that's supposed to be your job.
Sorry about that. Thanks for doing it for me.
I really thought you were someone who would have a better handle on things. Otherwise, I wouldn't have agreed with you working part-time. If you're going to leave housework for me, I'll forbid you from working.
I'll be careful from now on. I'll make sure to finish all the cleaning before I leave for work.
Remember that you're only living here because you're married to my son. Making sure to do things ahead of time. If I need to tell you off for something, then it's already too late.
Okay, I understand.
Also, I've been thinking about something recently. Don't you think the clothes you've been wearing out are a bit too extreme? They stand out too much.
What do you mean by that? They're just normal clothes you'd find or see anywhere.
You were wearing a skirt the other day, when you were going out somewhere with my son. You know, the frilly one.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember.
What are you doing wearing something that's going to get attention from other men? You're a married woman. You shouldn't be wearing things that show so much of your legs.
But that skirt goes down past my knees.
It doesn't matter if it was past your knees, your legs were still showing, weren't they? And the shade of light pink, how vulgar. I didn't really think about it like that.
I apologize, I'll be more careful.
You need to make yourself look more like a proper woman now that you're married. The same goes for your hair and makeup. You look like you're going to work at a strip club.
That's going too far, you know?
If you don't want to be thought of in that way, then wear more appropriate clothes. You shouldn't even bother with makeup anymore. It's not like anyone is looking at you anyway.
The clothes I wear are nothing like that. They're not anywhere near as revealing or outlandish.
That's not the point that I'm trying to make. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Every time I talk to you, the conversation ends up in some weird place.
Sorry.
Stop stressing me out so much. Just hurry back and finish the housework. Hey, when are you two coming back home?
My husband and I only left the house not too long ago. We'll probably be back quite late tonight. It's the weekend, so we'll be out for dinner too.
Come back right now.
Why do we need to come back?
Something terrible has happened to my daughter.
What's happened to Jessie?
Jessie is being abused by her in-laws.
By her in-laws, you say? Well, that's worrying to hear.
She says that from morning to night her mother-in-law harasses her. She's even making her look at the entire household on her own. They don't even treat her as a member of the family. The entire family went on a trip and left her at home by herself. She couldn't handle it anymore, so she just called me before to discuss it and ask for help.
I see. It sounds like she's in a pretty bad situation.
I wanted to call her mother-in-law and give her a piece of my mind, but Jessie told me that it wasn't necessary. I wondered what I should do.
Well, any situation with in-laws is pretty delicate. You don't want to make anything worse for her. It's probably better to just not do anything at all.
But I can't just sit here and keep my mouth shut. She's there all alone with people who don't treat her right. Apparently, the mother-in-law even called her a completely useless wife. Can you believe it? After all the hard work I put in raising my daughter, and she gets called that?
Is that so?
So you guys will come back now, right? I think this is something that we all need to talk about. Can you tell my son about his sister's situation too?
I've been telling him about it as we've been talking.
But Jessie isn't at our house right now, is she?
She's not, but so what?
Well, she can't really do anything about this then, even if we do come back now.
So, we're still going out as planned and we'll come back later.
What? He doesn't care about his little sister? Kate, you're also living with your in-laws just like her, so you do understand, don't you?
I sure can.
I knew you would. See? It's at times like this that men are completely useless. Jessie says her husband is pretending not to notice anything is going on.
It must be really hard if she isn't getting any support from him or anyone else.
And Jessie is such an outstanding girl. I wonder what it is that her in-laws find irritating about her. I'd be nothing but grateful if I have a daughter-in-law like Jessie.
Well, the thing there is, you are Jessie's biological mother after all.
And so what? Are you trying to say there's something wrong with her?
No, not at all. But if you think about it, she is still the daughter-in-law to this scenario. So you can never guess how her mother-in-law would view her. Of course, I don't have any kids of my own, so there's probably something I don't quite understand.
If you don't understand, then just don't say anything at all. But aren't you lucky that you have someone like me as your mother-in-law? You can do whatever you want, and I even let you and my son go out together on the weekends. Poor Jessie, she got really unlucky with her mother-in-law. Do you think it's better for me to pick her up and bring her back to our house?
Jessie's feelings and what she wants to do are still the most important thing here. You should contact her and see what she wants to do before you go get her.
You're right, she can only really rely on us. I need to make sure I don't act too rash and make things worse. But this really does annoy me. What kind of person would harass their daughter-in-law like that?
That's true. I completely agree with you there.
Okay, I'm going to give Jessie another call. She must be pretty down in the dumps right now, so I'll do my best to find a way to convince her to come stay with us.
Okay, got it.
And make sure to support her when she does come to stay, okay? I want her to be able to relax and recover without having to worry about doing anything. Even if she offers to help herself, make sure you don't let her do anything. Got it?
I got it. Hey, can you just confirm something real quick? So you think that if a mother-in-law is harassing her daughter-in-law, then that's a situation to get out of as soon as possible, right?
Obviously. Look, I get that sometimes living with other people can be difficult, but that's not reason to resort to abuse and harassment.
Okay, thanks. I just wanted to make sure. I'll take your words to heart. Good morning, Kate. Oh, Jessie, morning. What's up? So you're at your parents' house right now, right? Yep, I am. I had heard that you moved out. Is that because I moved back in? I'm really sorry. You're living together with your husband, but I moved back. I must really be in the way. It can't be very comfortable for you with me here. Oh, no, that's not the case at all. It's not? Then why did you leave? My mom was also super surprised that you decided to pack up and leave out of nowhere. I ran away from an abusive mother-in-law just like you did. We're in the same situation. Don't worry, it wasn't your fault. An abusive mother-in-law? You're talking about my mom right now, aren't you? Yes. It's hard to talk about it since she's your mother, but I reached my limit with her. When she was telling me about your situation with your mother-in-law, she even expressed her disgust with someone who would harass the daughter-in-law like that for no reason. The whole time, I couldn't help but think how ironic it was, seeing as she was doing the exact same thing. I discussed it with my husband and decided to move out. I'm sorry you got the wrong idea, but it really had nothing to do with you. So that's what happened. And my mom was so angry at my own mother-in-law, talking bad about her constantly. To think that she was doing the same things that she was criticizing. That's why I don't plan on going back and living with her. But don't worry about it. She treats you well. So you can stay there until things quiet down on your end. I can't take it easy though. If my own mother is harassing you, what kind of things was she doing to you? I know that you probably don't want to talk about it too much, but please let me know. I don't think you really want to hear it though. No, it's totally okay. Please. Well, it'll be a pretty long conversation, so how about I give you a call instead? That's fine by me. Mom isn't home right now either, so please tell me everything you can.
Kate, what on earth did you do? Why did you tell those lies to my daughter?
What are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean.
You told her that I was bullying you?
I did?
So you admit it. Why would you do something like that? Jessie is back home living with us because of exactly that reason. Don't you have any consideration for those around you? And you told her that I'm the reason you left and went back to live with your parents?
Of course I did. That's the truth. I also couldn't stand being harassed by the mother-in-law anymore and left, just like Jessie. But that was the best thing to do, right? You also said that it's not something to put up with, remember?
I was talking about Jessie at that time. It had nothing to do with you.
A conversation about terrible mother-in-law definitely has something to do with me. I had to listen to your complaints and grumbling every single day.
Complaints from me? Like what? I never did anything like that.
Even though we were living in the same house, you left all of the housework up to me. Isn't that exactly the same as what Jessie had to do?
I was doing the housework too.
Do you really think that taking some clothes out of the dryer every now and then really counts as a housework?
That's not all I did. I cooked too.
You kept throwing away all of the food that I cooked. You'd say it was disgusting and dump all kinds of spices on it before throwing it into the trash. That doesn't sound like cooking to me.
I helped with cleaning though.
But you would only ever clean your own room. Apart from that, you left me to clean the rest of the entire house. Waking up early in the morning to clean the bathrooms, vacuum the house, clean everything else before work, I had to do that. But what did you do? You started complaining that the vacuum was too noisy and affecting your sleep in the morning. So then I could only do that on days I didn't have work. And let's not forget doing the laundry, making food for everyone, and washing the dishes before leaving. So what is it that you're trying to say you helped out with?
A daughter-in-law living in her husband's house is supposed to do all the housework. That's an obvious fact.
I bet Jessie's mother-in-law thinks the exact same thing. Aren't you acting just like her?
I don't act like you're some stranger. I treat you as part of the family.
Remember that time you went on vacation with some friends? When you came back, I was the only one you didn't buy a souvenir for.
Well, I just happened to forget at that time.
Even when you go out for a little bit and come back with some snacks or something, you always seem to forget me then, too. Like a few days ago when you bought everyone cake except me. What was all that about then?
Those things are always just for my husband and son who are always working so hard.
Just sounds like an excuse to me. You even called me useless before, too. And the last time we went on a family vacation, you were the only one complaining that I was coming too. Everything is exactly the same as what happened to Jessie.
I'm not doing anything from ill will. It's not buying or anything like that with Jessie's mother-in-law was doing.
If that's the case, then why did you never say or do the sort of thing in front of your husband or son? It's always only when we're alone or through text messages.
Is that really what happened?
That's exactly what happened. Have you just happened to forget only the bad things that you did? But don't worry too much. I told my husband about it all, and I showed him all the text conversations between us.
What? You told my son all that too?
Of course I did. He's my husband.
He hasn't said anything or told me off for anything I may have done to you.
That's because I asked him not to say anything to you. We were all living together, so I wanted to try my best and get along with you as well as I possibly could. But when you started complaining about what was happening to Jessie, I woke up. I realized that there really is such a thing as wasted effort and time. You raised yourself on a pedestal and started criticizing Jessie's mother-in-law for what she was doing. That was the time I realized that I couldn't take it anymore.
Kate, listen to me. I honestly wasn't trying to do anything of that on purpose. I just wanted you to be a good wife, so I was trying to give you some advice to help.
As I said, Jessie's mother-in-law probably thought the same thing too. What I'm trying to say is that you're in no position to criticize anybody. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and sort yourself out first.
I'm sorry. I apologize for everything I've done up until now. So won't you come back and live with us again?
No. There's no way I'm living with you again. You were the one who asked me to come and move in with you in the first place. I don't need any more needless suffering that I can easily avoid.
Okay, I got it. I won't mention you moving back in again. But can you at least forgive me? My husband and daughter really went off at me for what I did. They even told me to get out of the house.
What goes around comes around, right?
But I've realized that what I was doing was wrong. I promise to be a good mother-in-law to you from now on. So please, can you forgive me somehow?
Is that something you'd say in front of your daughter? Could you ask her to forgive her mother-in-law for what she put her through?
I really think the degree of what we did is different.
Oh, if you're still able to say something like that, that means you haven't changed at all. I've got no reason to come to your aid. After that, my mother-in-law was brought to my house by her husband and daughter in order to apologize to me. Of course I didn't forgive her, but she promised to leave me alone and not talk to me except for important family occasions. And I told them that kicking her out of the house wasn't something that I wanted to happen. She got a good talking to from her husband and her daughter, so I'm sure the same thing won't happen again. After her actions were revealed to everyone, my mother-in-law really changed. She started to do all of the housework that I had previously done on her own. It might have been better for me to say something sooner. But since it was my husband's family home, I didn't really want to rock the boat and make a big fuss. In a way, I'm also partially to blame for putting up with it for no reason. In any case, I have no intention of protecting her feelings anymore. For example, even if we meet face to face, I'm not going to pretend or do anything for her sake. Jessie also moved out from her husband's house in the same way I did. We met up and talked about how happy we were that we both chose the right path for us. Both her and her father really helped me by taking my side against my mother-in-law, so I have nothing but feelings of gratitude towards them. From now on, I'm going to put all my effort into relationships with people who really care about me and treat me right.